Okay, so now the dramatic title is out of the way, maybe I can be a little less dramatic whilst explaining myself. Battlefield is a brilliant game. I mean that in terms of the overall franchise, whilst not necessarily meaning Battlefield 4 in particular. The Battlefield franchise offers something a lot of other games cannot, and that is why it has a certain appeal. All-out 64-player vehicular warfare in tanks, jets, jeeps, boats, quad bikes is just an overall exciting and unrivaled experience. Despite my channel being aimed at Battlefield, I am not a fanboy. I used to play COD 4 competitively, and I remain set to this day that COD 4 remains one of my favourite games of all time. It was a fantastic game. I have also played a number of the more recent CODs, albeit haven't enjoyed them as much, but that's not because they were Call of Duty, that was just because they were bad games in my opinion. I love Counter-Strike. I played Counter-Strike for a lot of my childhood, over probably 10 years from I was very young to this day, really. I still play Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike it's got a place in my heart. They all have their own appeal, and they all play very, very differently indeed. That being said, as different and as awesome as Battlefield can be, we all know how flawed the current iteration of the game is. Battlefield 4 is problematic, no doubt about it. There are numerous netcode problems, crashing problems, and a ton of bugs. Bugs I can live with because to a certain extent it is expected with a game of this complexity and size, but the amount of bugs is proving overwhelming for some people. Lots of people are getting frustrated with the game, and not just casual people either. As you know, I play a lot of competitive Battlefield, and having had the opportunity to go to DreamHack and meet and become friends, I would say, with a lot of the top European players, I seem to have come to a consensus that an awful lot of them actually hate the current state of the game. They play it because they love Battlefield, and not because they love Battlefield 4. And that, my friends, is an issue. As I express my current thoughts, we're around 2 months into Battlefield 4's release and heading into the Christmas period. It stands to reason that over this period there isn't going to be a major amount of work and patching done with the holidays and Christmas, etc. We're really looking at January forwards to see what direction Battlefield 4 will actually go in. And therein lies my concerns. What if people do not get the Battlefield they wanted? What if a few months after Christmas we are still lambasting the way the game works and how so many of the features and gameplay elements are still broken? I use the term broken subjectively, of course, as everyone's idea of broken is very different. But what if after a further 2 months people are still not happy with Battlefield? Will they continue to play it or move on to pastures new? Will in March a new game is released? A game that can potentially spark new life into the FPS genre. A game made by the original creators of the Call of Duty franchise and built on a heavily modified version of the super reliable Source engine. Those elements in themselves seem like a dream come true. The game I'm talking about is Titanfall. And whilst it is a far, far different beast to Battlefield, and they cannot and I will not compare them, I am truly wondering how many people will be looking to this game to try out something new if Battlefield 4 is continuing to frustrate them come March. Now, who is to say this game will be good? No one. We can't foresee how good it will be or how many people pick it up and enjoy it. From the evidence I have seen from videos and articles, it looks fantastic, and it seems to play brilliantly as well. And I feel as though there is a genuine buzz for the game. In terms of esports, it has potential, but I don't see the actual developers having any esports features per se. Esports would entirely depend on the game mechanics and willingness of teams to give the game a try. That being said, as I mentioned, the guys working on the game over at Respawn Entertainment are the original creators of Call of Duty, and that has a strong and long esports heritage. This excites me and concerns me. What if people want to try out something new because they're fed up with Battlefield in its current state? Of course, not everyone is just going to drop the game. Despite its problem, it still is a fantastic game, and the experience cannot be got anywhere else, unless of course you include something along the lines of PlanetSide 2. So the game will always have loyal players that want that experience, continuing to play it regardless of its flaws. but I also see a lot of casual players at least trying Titanfall and testing the waters. If come March Titanfall is as good as it looks and Battlefield 4 is still as bad as it currently is, then I fear for my beloved Battlefield 4. Thanks for listening, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Merry Christmas.